After a long day of tight competition, Blackhand finally I was gonna say break that curse, but that's maybe not the right phrase for that one. They end up getting a pretty quick set there. Gormizer, this time joined by Radthar.
Hello.
Here, and this is gonna be really fun because we're entering again. First off, the kind of sunset, I guess, of today. We've got the last two sets, so we're starting to get to where things are winding down.
Yeah.
I think the B stream's been running along really well today as well. For those of you who are curious, there were 12 sets today, 6 here and 6 on RCCS 2. So if you were like just itching for more roco content, there's a good place for you to be able to go. But now we're entering this position where we're jumping back over to Group A. We'll take a look at the pools here in just a second, and we're going to be looking at Right Turtle, who we've already seen once today, having some success, and I believe they won their off-stream game as well. And then Bulletproof, who is currently 1-1, so very competitive group. It's technically like the 1 versus 3, but with the way these were seeded, this one still feels like it should be competitive.
Yeah, this will be a very competitive game. We saw Bulletproof earlier at the start of the day put up a very good performance against Nash's team there in Aerial or Rise. They did just about lose, and then we did see Right Turtle beat Aerial or Rise. So if you're following the formula of it, in theory, this should go in the favor of Right Turtle, but I do agree, this will be a very competitive match regardless, and I imagine it'll be kind of close.
It's one of those weird things where, like, you can write it down, the math equation looks like it makes sense, but then someone's going to break it. And we'll see if that happens here. But yeah, like you said, Right Turtle, like, I even want to say, like, squeaking by against Aerial Arise. That one was incredibly close. And the same thing, Aerial Arise and Bulletproof, as you had highlighted, very close. That one kicked off the day, and so this is going to be the 5th set. And I believe the last set for both of these teams to play for the day and for their group. And so if you can get this, if you're Right Turtle, this is like your clean sweep. This is the best way to not only end the day, but to further in the rest of the tournament. You're going to be feeling really confident about your capabilities.
Absolutely, yeah. They've had a dominant performance so far. I said there's some close games, but they've played together very, very well. I've said it since since when I was casting them. Right Turtle, that team where you have Emerson and Drew, who are such good fraggers. They're so good when it comes to just being in the, getting the kills, and you have Prosper there to guide them into the right positions, always looking over them, making sure they're fine. Kind of like the father figure of the two of them as they run around the map getting the kills. It's like, kids, I'll make sure everything's okay. You guys got to get the kills.
It's actually incredibly funny that you say that like that, because we, again, like, Prosper's played in different Hi-Rez games prior competitively, and we were talking about it like years ago. It's like 2018. We're seeing this guy come in as just a kid coming in to play some games. He's really good at it. And then now you get to see him, and exactly like you said, he's grown up. He's definitely has that experience, and you can see it show through. We're going to the arena for map number 1, and immediately Chalk is someone who gets banned off the cuff here. So the question I have for you, I guess, is why Chalk, and then also who joins him?
I mean, I think Chalk is a pick mostly because they know that the team of Right Turtle can just push really fast. Yeah. They know that that's a really, really good thing. Or even both teams. Class, I think it's actually banned by Right Turtle, that pick, because Class is banning now. So it was, that was banned against Bulletproof. And Class is, and he proved earlier, one of the most dominant Chalks out there. And I think that's the reason that was banned. And Ronin, just because Ronin is that kind of character that so immune to reveals. You want to maybe play some intel. Let's get rid of that so you can play around some intel on the map and not have to deal with the immunity. So those bans make a lot of sense to me.
Unfortunately for them, if you're looking for people who can still maybe get things going pretty quickly, maybe aggressively, like Lancer tends to be high on that list, is at least being hovered alongside the Sigrid right now. Like, those two have been coming back. Like, Lancer has been, reoccurring mostly in the bans, I think, like we've seen. But Sigrid has been here off and on all day. Looks like Dahlia might be the last one locked in here. How are you feeling just as a comp for defense here at the beginning of the game? Especially on a map like Arena, how do you feel that this is going to be able to fare against like a Fixer, a Dahlia, and a Glimpse?
I feel like they're not going to play defense. They're not playing defense still. They're going to run at them. They have the Dahlia to keep them alive, and that Lancer is going to be flanking full send.
Well, they're going to chase them down. We'll see if it's successful here with the aggressive defense coming out from Bulletproof here in Game 1 on the Arena.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. It is Heartbreaker, and alongside me once again is GK, and on Arena with these teams. I mean, I feel like we've been treated so much today with the matches that I know I've gotten to cast. It has just been amazing, these teams, and now we get to see Bulletproof in this match. I mean, you can't really set up a better match, right? Like, this is top tier.
I've got to agree with you. I mean, obviously, Right Turtle probably coming into this as the favorites, as we talked about on the desk, right? But it's Arena. It's not a map that everyone plays a lot, right?
Absolutely.
So anything can really happen. What I would say is the most confusing thing for me is allowing MS on Fixer once again, right? After what he did last time on this map, it's going to be a bit crazy to allow that again. But the Lancer's open, the Sigrid's open. It's a lot of power rogues. And we're getting straight into the fight, Heartbreaker.
Oh, they're getting so aggressive and pushed straight through there with that Lancer, made that call, and just allowed his teammates to push up the stairs. So somebody has already fallen. There's going to be Emas who's been knocked down, and they're getting aggressive on that. They don't want that res to come through, and they're going to be successful in making sure that it can't happen. So 2 versus 3 at this point, 1:15 left. Plenty of time to work with at this time, and it's slowing down. They're clearing corners. They're just trying to figure out where these players could be hiding, and who's that still just laying back a little bit, watching for those flanks, seeing if anybody tries to come around the backside. But, whoa, nice shots out of Prosper. Putting that KD really quickly.
Logic. He's been waiting there for a while, actually, Heartbreaker. I think since the start of the round, he does even up, but as soon as he does, his teammate falls, and that's unlucky for Drew to fall there. The Dahlia res comes off, but they farmed a kill off it, and they're just getting money for that. So that's unlucky for them. I think it was a bit of a miscommunication, maybe, because they just all were on the right-hand side, whereas Prosper was on the left-hand side there. He also could have got a kill earlier, but he was reloading his gun. And that made all the difference. There was a glimpse in front of him.
He's making him work for it right here. I mean, he's doing a little bit of damage. He's staying alive, but I mean, this is tough, right? You got 2 players. The bomb's down on the far side.
20 seconds.
You're definitely in a tough spot. You're trying to bait one out, hoping you're going to hit those dinkers, but they're peeking at the same time every time. So even when he hits one a lot, he can't push. He can't make anything of it because the second player steps up and says, hold on, leave my boy alone.
And we just hear it. Shields up, and he's going to have to choose one before he gets killed in the back. All right. Yeah. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe one
round. I mean,
I'm very enthusiastic about the first round because it does set the tone, and they have guns. I'm going to say this all weekend. Yep. They have guns, and now the other team doesn't, right? Arena as well, so they can be more aggressive this round. They can pinch the team and hold them off because all they can do is really shoot their pistols. So this is going to be interesting again. A question for you here: do we think MS is going to pull out the sniper this game, or is he going to go with the Mamba again?
I'm thinking Mamba. I think with what he was able to do in the previous game, Emas will probably go with the Mamba. I do think them letting Who's get on that Lancer, I think is going to be a big factor of this. If he can make plays as Lancer, if he can get to these spots, get to those early picks, cause chaos, cause disruption that allows his teammates to then get in there, I think that's their best shot.
And
without that, I don't know.
Like
he does, absolutely, yes.
Especially with Lancer, the 5 speed is just unreal. Plus, when he uses the ultimate, it's just going to be such a good move for that team, right?
And there's multiple lanes on this map. Like, to be able to slip through as a Lancer, basically, if you hear any calls about where the enemy team is, you can get behind them really quickly. I mean, this map, there are so many lanes to be able to get up towards the right. If you're trying to go big flank, if you're trying to go a little bit shorter, go up the stairs. If you're there's just so many ways to maneuver this map as Lancer that it leaves a lot of opportunity. And if he can capitalize on that, I think that's their best shot. I think that truly is their best opportunity.
And I think that's why the Dahlia is probably linked with the Glimpse on this on the defense side, so that they can see if there's a Lancer hiding around the corner, or get the intel. 2 in front, so one's probably behind, right? Ultimately, though, he may need to connect with the Fixer at some point.
Shots out of Prosper.
MS goes down as well. It's 1v2 situation. The shield is up. He could get this kill if he goes for quickly. Semtex is going to come in.
Yeah, it was stuck between a rock and a hard place right there. So Semtex coming in, somebody else wrapping around the right side. I mean, tried to stand the ground, but not able to do it. And I also think something's very cool here. When you come to LAN, people try to pull out these picks. Like, you don't see Arena very often, right? You normally don't see it. Same thing with Glacier. Not when you see, but we have actually seen Glacier in this tournament. And I think it is just that people have these little secret pocket picks that they're like, we know we're decent at that one. Nobody plays it too much. Let's pull it out. Now, Arena has been making a bit of a comeback. I have seen it more. We saw it in the qualifiers. But it's still not something I think you see every series. People are definitely not like, I definitely want to play Arena all the time. So it's always interesting when you get to LAN and people are pulling out those secret plays. Like, let's try something different. Let's try to catch them off guard, and we end up on maps that we don't see as often.
And that's something that's great about 3v3. It's introduced maps that we don't normally see, right? This map may be a bit more difficult with the 4v4, maybe a bit more packed. 3v3, it's allowed it to come back into live, and I'm loving seeing this map back in the, Dr. Disrespect all over this map, really.
Great design. The aesthetic, design team, you did great.
Yes.
You did great.
Yes. All right, they're going to go for the A push here. Looks like a free site. Until Who's that pops up as a Lancer, and that's what we talked about, but he'll get traded out instantly. Can he behind him? He won't be able to get that res, and his arm's getting shot. His arm's getting shot as he holds a nade, and that's unfortunate. He's going to go... Sigurd's going to go down before the Dahlia does, actually. That's amazing. He managed to get out.
I actually don't know how the Dahlia escaped or how that Rez actually got off, but it's not going to matter. Kenny might have teleported.
He might have teleported.
Somebody check his PC because he was stuck in a corner. He was pinned down, gunned down, like 10 HP, and then he was bottom stairs left side. So we're not sure how he managed to do that, but it was impressive.
And it's unlucky for him because if he'd managed to get that grenade off, I think he could have evened out the round then. It would have been a 2v2
with that
situation.
Rez as well,
right?
yep.
It's just his arm was sticking out and he was just getting... It's so unfortunate how that works for him. 2-1 though, right, Turtle? I guess that first round didn't matter at all.
I mean, they could come back into this. You know, this guy caught off guard. I think the right idea from Who's to be up there and try to catch them off, but I don't think he expected the player to be coming in from the short lane. You know, they all came in, 2 came in from the big door, and then somebody by the stairs popped in, caught him off from the side, and then he can't really do anything about that.
He probably should have waited a little bit longer, right? Especially as Canny was right behind him. We didn't realize that because we can't see their teammates on the screen, but if he had waited, Canny could have maybe hit that one bullet that was required to kill that person.
To get that drop, absolutely. And now it looks like, look, he just got spotted going around this backside. So that information, at first it was like, oh, that could be a massive play. Get spotted. Now it's just a matter of we know somebody's this far pushed up. We know somebody's made their way through, and they're going to get him. I mean, Drew putting down Class, and then the finish by Prosper. They're forcing the player further up the stairs right here, and EMS is able to drop down Who's Dad. This is a slaughter of a round.
And what they've done there, if you don't know at home, if you're wondering why they didn't just get the bomb down, they pushed through the site. And the defending team doesn't expect that to happen, right? So they've got more ground, more map control than Rome's Bandits thought that they would have. And this is what's happened.
Yeah, with these sorts of plays and these pushes coming out, it is just, bulletproof, And that's the beauty of watching top tier play, right? It's because, you know, when you play ranked or you play pubs, it's like when you get to, and I've said this many times as well, when you get to a site, you're like, bomb down, bomb down, bomb down.
Right.
At the top level, they understand it's much bigger than that. How much time do you have left on the clock? Should you wait to get a pick? Should you wait for intel? So you know, like, when you go to plant that bomb, you're not going to get naded out. You're not going to get rushed, you know, those sorts of things. And so I love when people play the pacing correctly. That's something that is beautiful to watch at the top tier. And, you know, anybody, again, watch it at home. Hey, take it into your games. If you take the site, but you haven't taken anybody down, you haven't actually taken control of it, slow it down. Look for those picks first. Picks over bomb if you have the time to work.
At the very least, the intel. So that, like you said, after the bomb goes down, you at least know where those nades or utility or where the enemy team is going to be placed.
And where's a safe place to run to.
Yeah, exactly, because you're going to be planting, someone's going to be watching over you. That other person out back can't watch all 4 lanes or whatever we have at that time, right? So it's very, very opportunistic to go forward and get the intel and get the pick, and then get the bomb down.
This is a slower round coming out from right Turtle, and as I say that, they're not slow on the other side. Class walking right up and putting Drew down over towards the long A side, or B side rather. Take him down, and then finally a man advantage in the other direction. They might be able to get their second round on the board here if they can capitalize on this, but now that Rez is coming through. He gets back up, but they put him down again. $2,500 in the bank, but Kill going the other direction there. Who's That does fall for Bulletproof on the other side.
There from Who's. He was there for quite a while, and he thought he was incognito, but he's been crept up on by MS on Fixer, and that's something you don't normally see, right?
He's had that padded.
He does have padded. Yep. It's not something you see, though, normally a Fixer beating a Lancer on that type of...
No, it's not supposed to happen.
Especially with a Mamba as well. That's MS for you, and that's why I'm confused at why Fixer's allowed, because he's got padded, now he can see through smoke, he's got the bomb back, and they'll probably rotate to the other bomb site. Oh, they've got so much map control, they don't even need to. They basically own the map at this point.
And they can plan for spawn. Right here, they plan for spawn. There's so many lanes. They can go up top, they can go deep over there on the left side. They can even pop down to the right and play a close angle. There's a lot of opportunities here with the plant that they've been given, and the two players are both coming from the same directions. 2 versus 2, bomb down, which of course means time on the side of the attackers at this point, and they just need to hold. They need to pick off the players, and they're separating. As you can see, the defense trying to get in there is separating. Now they're reuniting there on long, but there was an opportunity there for a little 2 versus 1. The shield is now gone. EMS wins the duel, and it's going to be Candy Shots coming around the back. He's able to take it, but the low HP, he's not able to take down Prosper, who was still sitting at 100.
That was interesting. That was interesting indeed, because they tried to get the angles and they tried to maneuver it, but it didn't work out. You know, the the attacking team holding their plant, they had so much time to choose where they were going to play. What they did is they flipped the map, right? That's what we call it, right? They flipped the map completely. So they were on the defense side, and defense was on the attacking side, and that's not in the favor of the defense. You don't want to be retaking from attack side.
And a lot of the time when you're able to do that, it actually gives you like a better plan spot because it's more risk, more reward. If you make it onto their side, you're playing on their side, you're putting yourself at risk, except for when they've pushed too far up, and now it's actually reversed. And again, there were so many lanes. They decided to play back at those tight little angles. You can kind of look between like the pillar and the wall and stuff like that, but they could have gone up top, they could have gone to stairs, they could have gone further back, and so the defense has to come from the opposite direction and figure that out. An early nade, damage being done, and who's that falls this time to kick things off. They're able to spot Prosper as well, but he's revealed with 36 HP here on the box. That's going to be Candy, and he falls, and they are just tearing them apart. They say, you know what? Let's just close it out. 5-1. Yes, this right turtle is putting it on right now.
And they don't even look phased right now. They look like they're playing a pub match right now, don't they? Look at MS. He doesn't really understand like how much longer he's got to just win like this. It's too easy. As he said in his interview, he's just going crazy.
Yeah.
And
his team as a whole is really, I mean, they're all having rounds. They're all popping off at really good times. And the only round they lost, GK, was round number 1. They lost a pistol round.
Yes.
That's it. Other than that.
And I think that gave them the fire to realize, oh, wait, we're losing no more rounds. Yeah. That wasn't even funny to lose that one, yeah?
Let's look at these picks, though. On the defense, we're going to see EMAS coming back with the fixer. Prosper on Dahlia. Who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed? And then Drew whipping out the glimpse. That was a little different. Not like crazy different.
Because normally MS would be the glimpse character on this team, I would believe, but we'll see now. The only thing is, I want to add to that, shout out to Prosper. Every fight he had, he was winning the trades, right? Someone would peek Prosper and end up unpeaking because they've been shot twice as fast as they thought they would, you know? Prosper has got that aim with the DMR, and he's really, really picked that up over the last couple of weeks.
I have a question for you. Scorch, attack arena against no mollies, anything like that. What is the reason you would give for why they're picking Scorch?
There's two reasons. On attack, right? Once you've planted the bomb, you can throw the molly at the bomb so that it can't be defused. So basically, you have 10 seconds or 7 seconds less on the bomb defuse for the opposing team. So that's one thing. You can use the molly for the post plant. And second of all, I guess the tenacity, the armor, the bounce back. It's a very strong rogue to push forward.
Good in those 1v1s.
Right.
And at this point, we're seeing a couple of 1v1s as Prosper, known for his nades, has managed to take that Scorch out of the equation, but the revive does come through. They were linked with the Dahlia, and they are back in the action, and that nade is out of play. So, you know, not exactly the biggest loss for the attacking team of Bulletproof, but that loss, they're probably not getting that one back, as who's that goes down, and he gets all 3!
I've got to say this.
Oh, look at that. Only headshots, he says. Only headshots.
I've got to say, Bulletproof are not looking so bulletproof
No,
right
not
now.
at all. Not at all. Re-up the Kevlar. This is not working out. EMAS is not playing around.
Shots, all headshots.
Oh, let's see it again. Oh, please.
1.
Oh, this right here, this transition on these.
2.
Bam!
3.
That peak was just something else. So he just kept going. He's like, oh, I'm feeling it.
And the warrant is so good for that.
It shoots so fast. Like making an SMG. Like, just making an SMG. That sucker is like, I mean, it's crazy.
And especially if you're hitting headshots, you're as fast as you can tap, it's as fast as the bullets are coming out. And I can imagine MS has a quick trigger finger, as we just seen, right? He didn't even reload in that, did he? He just killed all 3 of them with 1 mag, basically.
And I mean, even with the Mamba right there, that was such good damage. And then he's like, I have to get out.
Look at the movement.
That's the smart play, right? Just, okay. That's the smart play where he said, I can hear the person rushing towards me. They're getting aggressive. Let me throw that smoke. Let me secure my life. I have to play my life. Bam. Done. Because he's not linked. Somebody has to get up there and save him. So those little things where you might think, why would you use the smoke, whatever. Because if he stays alive, he's still in the round. He can still help his team in that situation. Well done. But the bomb is down at B.
And that's something I really appreciate that MS has done there. He's used the fixer ult. Oh, this is going to quick glimpse versus glimpse. The Semtex. Oh, Drew Whitlock. That's what he does. Watch out for the Semtex because he's going to shoot straight after if it doesn't stick you. That is Drew Whitlock at his best, I would say.
And without that Semtex, it was a little scary.
But
as soon as he did that, it was like, you're back in it.
You know he always has one. Oh, and another. Oh, with the res, and that's Prosper. Prosper logic, and they're going to farm this down for more money. Oh,
they said, class, where are you going? Where are you going, class? Where are you going, class?
And that's looking like game.
That's a 7-1.
That's potentially one of the quickest games we've had all day.
Look at even Drew's up. Even Drew's up and laughing. That 7-1. Now, that's tough because we saw Bulletproof in such a close game earlier, right? They bounced back in their second, and they managed to go 1-1 overall, and then they kicked this series off. Now, there's still more to play. It was Arena. Maybe that's not their best map. Maybe they get shot in the dark. They go to it. But you don't expect a 7-1 against a team like Bulletproof. I mean, even with a team as talented as Right Turtle, 7-1?
And with the Lancer.
Yes.
Because that is probably the most OP rogue in the game.
Let's be honest, it was a non-factor. It was a non-factor.
You're not wrong, and that's the thing. I don't think I saw enough flanks or enough, I'm going for it, and then we're just seeing Lancer boots around the map. We didn't see that, and he's probably afraid to leave his teammates alone, right?
Well, and one of the things I think about on LAN, because every time I've seen Lancer picked thus far, it hasn't led to these crazy plays. People are a little more nervous. They don't want to risk it on the big stage at the big. So with Lancer, normally if you're online or something, what do you do? You're taking chances. You're making big flanks. You're trying to make the plays. Nobody's doing that on LAN so far. Every time I've seen a Lancer, they're like, should I go? Should I? No. And they're taking fights like any other rogue. And then you're going, well, then just play a different rogue that's better in that situation.
Right. I think we saw that when he was on the stairs there. Instead of going for a flank, he got flanked. And that was pinnacle point, just taking that L there, right?
So lockdown map 2.
I love lockdown.
We've had some good lockdowns today.
I love lockdown. It's so pedal to the metal, right? The fights are instant, and then sometimes they go outside, sometimes they're inside. The Seeker bow, there's so many different variants here. I think we're going to see the Lancer ban. I would assume maybe also a Fixer ban. MS is just taking advantage of the fact that none of the other team actually snipes.
I think they have to counter it. So we saw earlier when we watched Bulletproof play that Candy went Fixer, I believe, on lockdown. And so they're going to do that again to try to counter that play. But he's probably going to go DMR, or the Deadeye specifically.
Deadeye,
And, I mean, that's a really powerful gun. Does EMS change, or do you say, no, I really just like the mob? He's hitting shots. Why not? Maybe you stick with it. Maybe it gets banned, like you said. I'm really interested in what they're going to be doing. We're about to find out right now. As we get to that ban stage, we'll figure out exactly what is being knocked out. And it looks like the team banning first is the attacking team. So that is going to be Right Turtle, and they take out Chalk.
Chalk.
That's an interesting ban.
Well, they do have many Chuck players on their team. Canny's very good with it. Class, I mean,
yeah,
we've seen what he can do. Yeah, he shows up on that rogue. So that's a fair ban, I would say. Now, this ban is probably going to be very interesting. Is it going to be Fixer? Is it going to be Glimpse? Is it going to be Dahlia? Right? Like, that's also a big pick. How many reses did Prosper get that probably he shouldn't have gotten, right?
I just don't think that Canny is the type of person that gets rid of something like Dahlia. I just don't see it. They're going with something, and it looks a Ronin. That makes more sense. Like, you don't want to get lurked on, somebody get a red. And then okay, never mind. GK, I bow to you,
and
sir.
That's what I can say
you guys
sometimes.
Can't see it, but there's a literal bow happening. I really didn't think, because we saw a ban earlier. We did. But I didn't think that Candy's team would ban Dahlia, but with Prosper, I guess, yeah.
I think sometimes it's harder for us to see, but in the moment, when you get a knock and he gets res because he's connected to Dahlia, it's so demoralizing, right? Because it means nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't actually do anything but waste your nade at that point, right? So I think that's a really strong ban, plus the grenade kills that Prosper got. As you called it, he's very good with his nades, and then he gets a kill. I think they had to ban that.
And even if he trade off of his and not the person, he reses that person, he's back into it. So, again, the reasons behind the Dahlia ban, again, we saw it earlier when Valor's was banning it against... it's escaping me.
Rome's Bandits?
Yes, Rome's Bandits. So banning the Dahlia there, but that made more sense because they had that in their mind. They knew that that's what they like to do, and I guess it's the same thing. Prosper is known for Dahlia. That's like his go-to. And so now we go in. We have fixers on both sides. So... not too surprising there, and once again, Talon on the attacking side of lockdown.
And what I'll say
no
is,
intel for the defense.
Prosper's Talon is different.
Oh, yeah?
People don't really know, but he is so good with the Deadeye, and that's on any rogue. And now when he has a flash in his hand, and he doesn't have to be the res, he can do his own thing. I think we're going to see some crazy, crazy plays from here.
Well, it's going to be very interesting if they end up double DMR, right? Because they have the Fixer and the Talon. If they go double DMR, like... unless you're like really giving them those shots, like that could be tough because on the other side, they're rocking a bit of SMGs.
Yes,
you know? So,
and the shield up.
Yes.
The shield up.
Yes, you're not DMRing that.
Yeah, you're not DMRing that, that's for sure. But they did, it's going to be difficult, that's for sure. I think he might pull out the LMPX at one point. you'll probably realize I can't just stand back here with the fixer.
If it's
I need
not
to
working,
push.
right? If they're both DMRing and they simply aren't getting that push, because Drew has to come up big, but he's playing Glimpse, which means he has to lurk around a little bit. He can't just be the guy who's leading you in, but Candy opens things up.
Ooh.
First kill of this one, going the way of Bulletproof as he's able to take on EMS and get that finish up. Class peeking out with a shoot, but great shots out of Prosper.
Over peeking, man. That was unnecessary from Who's That. They're going to try and get the res, but now the Glimpse is going to get a position of advantages. Control. They don't go for the res. They forget all about it and move out of there.
They say, that's fine, we'll take the 2v2.
Right. And the bomb's down. Now they switched. They've done the map flip right here, right? The attacking side are in the zone to plant, but they don't have the bomb, and Cannibals is actually going crazy already this game. He's taken out MS, and then he took out Prosper.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Could he not pull the bomb?
No, that's something that's actually been taken out of Talon's repertoire, right? He can only grab back weapons and util and not the bomb.
Okay.
I think it brings an element of, you know, you get an advantage. Let's see if you can. No,
able to recover for it.
Yeah, you get an advantage, and then you know, the talent can just grab the bomb.
That was one of the most frustrating things.
Super
frustrating. Because he just needs the line of sight. Like, even if you're like holding him off, he just like peek out.
Yeah.
And
the only way to stop it was for him to get sniped, I guess, right? Whilst he's sticking his hand out for a brief half a second. So you'd be like, oh, watch the bomb, and then it would be zipped off somewhere else, right? And he doesn't even need a teammate at that point. The other teammate can be across the map.
Clearing, taking control, all that, causing chaos anywhere, and just pull that over. So 1-0 here for the defending team of Bulletproof. Good start for them. And but
I'm not gonna say
hold on.
I'm not gonna say anything.
They won the pistol. They won the pistol. And let's just see how round 2 goes.
And Cannibals went big that round. And I'm loving the fact that he's picked up Fixer, because he actually always talks about how it's a rogue that can be played by many people. And he got a pick, 2 picks instantly. MS though, fighting back. Oh my, hits that guy 95 before going down. It's a 1v2 situation. Will he get this res off? Make it a 3v1. The Scorch is going to try and peek around the corner. Who's that all alone?
Get back up. Oh, that's tough, man.
Drew Whitlock standing up like, yo, what happened there, buddy?
He's always smiling. He's always smiling. Just excited to be here.
He's a man full of expression. This team is a team full of expression.
Absolutely.
All we need is Prosper to start jumping up and down.
Well, you know, he has to keep them under, you know.
Right.
Just
The
be like,
father figure.
Yeah, exactly,
Right?
exactly. You just got to be like, hey, yeah, this is exciting. Can we play the game? Like, focus on, you know what I'm saying? But if they go up big again, I'm sure he'll let loose a little bit, you know, and we're not repeating yet. But this is how the last game started. This is how the last map started.
It's literally the exact same.
Yeah.
And
you didn't say anything this time.
Right, because you know, no favorites. I don't want to push it, but Prosper on the Talon. I'm telling you, you think you can ban him, but you can't. Oh,
there we go. That's the pick they need.
I should not speak. Right.
That's it.
And the molly comes out. They're not going to let that res.
They can't let the res happen. They can't go back for it. So they just leave them behind.
What they've done here is a bit too much, though. They might have pushed way too far. The opposing team is already on a bomb site at this point.
But they had the man advantage. So, I mean, yeah, they definitely pushed up, but they haven't gone all the way. They're still clearing. And if they push through, they're fighting Glimpse alone. They've split. They've completely split in a 2 versus 3. And, I mean, if it works out for them, hey, but that's typically not what you want to see.
And MS plants for a map flip position. He's taken the defending side's position and planted for them. So if they go back to their spawn, they will not be able to see the bomb get defused. But it worked out because the opposing team actually flipped the map again. We've seen this so much over the last couple games, right? We haven't seen it all day, but now it's push, push, push. They understand that you can't just sit still. You have to do more, especially when you're a 2v3.
And EMS has pushed around to this generator, and that is going to allow for the right behind the walls, able to get one. Doesn't even crack the invis. Now he does, but C4 comes out. Wouldn't matter anyway. They land the shots. He's already walked it all the way around. Catches from the shoot, goes off, deals significant damage. He says, you are not getting these reses, but they are actually still there.
But the time's so low.
But the time's so low that all he has to do is wait, just stop them from clicking, and it's over. Like, it's that simple. You simply don't have time at that point. Well played by EMS. Didn't overextend, because if that happens, he pushes through. If he gets dropped, they just go, oh, forget the res. I'm going to go defuse the bomb. So,
right, and I think EMS is so good that he actually thought, I could probably get another free kill here.
We're thinking, oh, he's playing time, and in his head, he's going, let them all up.
Let him up. I'll just kill you again. Right? You don't even need a sniper, and that's just the most amazing thing about it, is that you know, he's just using the Mamba and knocking people out like crazy. And that's the thing, is there's not that definition of hit the shot or miss the play. He's hitting all his shots with the Mamba, and it's still making the same play. You know, there's more room for error, even though he's had no errors so far.
He is playing very, very well. You know, again, there were questions
Here we go.
coming from from France? Is he going to be even better on land? He's not. Well, right now he's definitely looking very, very good. And that was an unfortunate round for Bulletproof because Candy opened it up with a pick. And they pushed through. And they secured that. So they're into 3 versus 2, and it falls apart.
And that's, yeah, and it's about the timing on the bomb, you know. Once it gets to halfway, you have to have that thought in your mind, okay, we need to get on the bomb within the next 15 seconds to bait out the enemies at the very least, right?
That's what the demolition game mode is all about. Yeah, you got a time crunch if that bomb goes down.
Right, and that's the problem with map flipping when you're on defense. You take so long to get back to the bomb. It's just not advised to allow that to happen, and I don't think they should have pushed through and overextended that far.
That glimpse going back through, though, that's going to be an interesting one. Walking back through, trying to get a bit of a flank push through. Oh, that's a bit of that overextension because somebody had already pushed around the left side of his luggage. He's not going to be able to get through. But then
wicked pinch.
Coming through, that is what they needed. And I think now that glimpse, it's wrapped around a little too far. But is the bomb planted for there? Oh, it's not going to matter. What a C4.
Oh, what
that's a toss and a half. We got Tom Brady out here? What was that?
Canny's one of those players who knows those type of things at the lineups. Like he's so well versed in playing any rogue. That was actually brilliant because Drew might have won that because they wouldn't have been able to zip up. He's invisible, so as soon as they get on the bomb, he just shoots.
Your best bet is hitting that C4.
C4,
like,
right?
Truly.
I think they might have lost that round without it. I love this comeback from Bulletproof so far, though. They're not taking a quick L for an answer.
There it is. There it is. What a toss.
That was
perfect.
Great play. Well played, well played.
With where that bomb was planted, I think you're right. Like, Drew, he dropped one. He's up there. At any point, if they go up, he's like, just drops off and get invisible. And, like, you just have to chase him around and hope for the best.
And I've seen Drew do that, win that type of thing a lot of time. Maybe at least 40 times or something like that, you know, in our day-to-day playing on pugs.
2-2, we're all tied up. Already more competitive.
Oh, you have to hit that headshot. That would have been the game changer for that round. And all 3 of the defending players are on B site, leaving A completely open.
We're starting
and as
to see that rotation.
Drew's already in their spawn. He's so well versed in taking map control, even if it's against his teammates' will.
Because they had leaned so far over toward that side early, the fixer on the rotation hasn't actually pushed out because he's like, oh, they could be all the way here on my right. Now he's finally doing it. He was watching this. So he keeps checking that because he doesn't know how far they've gone up.
Yeah. I think he waited for his teammate to go all the way around the spawn and just check that. Semtex comes out. If that was a bit better, that could have got that kill, to be honest with you.
Yeah, had him locked in the corner, but it kind of threw it for where he was and not where he was going, which you do sometimes. Yes. But again, just a little bit of a tweak there, and that is a kill. I really think that's definitely potential. And now they're getting aggressive. They're not slowing down at all. Body shot, but then the C4 clears it out
and now
finishes
he's invisible.
The other one. But
C4.
Big C4 able to take him down, bring us to the 2 versus 2. Everybody smoked off. EMS getting aggressive. Prosper with the cover, and they clean it up. That duo being left alive is tough. Very tough to beat because, as we point out many times, EMS is the one who's going to go in there and make something happen, and Prosper's going to be looking over him and saying, hey, buddy, I got your back.
He's so good at that, right? He's so good at predicting you're going to be in trouble from the right lane, so I'm going to go on the left and watch over you and not let you die, or let you die and instantly trade you out, and instantly res you, you know?
He plays for that win. I mean, that Prosper is so good at looking at the situation and recognizing, like, here's what you're good at, here's your strength, go do this, here's what I'm going to do to make sure that if there's any fault that happens, I've got it covered. We're going to win this round anyway, and we just saw it right there.
Well, we are talking about a world champion in Paladins, right?
True.
So he has plenty of experience of how to play at LAN and how to make a team work.
Probably one of, if not the most experienced players here at this LAN. So it's showing through, and that's where he doesn't have to be the star. He doesn't have to be one getting all those kills, but he's holding the team together.
And
he's
I love that
plays.
about Prosper. Yeah, he doesn't need to be the star. He's here to win.
They're changing things up here on the inner. You can see they've already pushed up. They've taken pillar control, and they have somebody watching over him, so they have to be able to clear this position out. As you see, they tried to use the C4, tried to do it, and I don't think it does anything. We have a little bit of alert coming around, but I think that smoke allowed that player to fall back for Bulletproof, and Canny, he said, go ahead, PP again.
And that's the gold bounce back, because he didn't actually shoot that player right before he threw that Semtex, but the gold bounce back will get him his health right back, and he's going to hit 97 instead of trading.
The gold bounce back will change the way you approach a fight. Because even if you get an early advantage, you're like, no, if I don't get it in that clip, like if I don't actually get it right then and there, it's a reset. Let's just reset.
For those at home, bounce back means the regen of health, and the perk allows you to reduce that regen of health, whereas it normally takes around 5 seconds, I believe. A gold bounce back would make that a 2-second heal back, and that's so super effective.
So we're changing the plays. We're going outside, trying to actually just coming through the door. So smoke it off, trying to cause that rotation. Just get him to peel off a little bit. But they didn't. They were so far pushed up. They hadn't moved back at all, and they're getting absolutely destroyed trying to come through this. I mean, that's a meat grinder right there, running through that door where they haven't moved. They have red control looking over the half wall. That's a tough one.
Canny's feeling himself
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. A little wave to the opponent's death.
Just a little smirk there.
And that's what happens when you
Who's
start
that?
hitting those headshots, right? Because he now can be the game changer. MS, use your Mamba, please. If you're hitting your headshots, that's what you would be saying, right? Because then you have no opponent. You can peek everything and then roll back if you miss type thing. So I really respect that of Canny, and I hope he brings the sniper out for the second half.
Ooh, EMS whipping out the Lancer now.
Ooh, he's had enough. He's had enough. He's like, I'm good at Fixer if there's not another sniper on the map. If not, just give me Lancer.
Handed it to Drew.
Yeah.
Said, hey, Drew, you give it a go. And we know Drew's capable
we know
as
Drew.
well.
Yep.
Very good.
He basically single-handedly got Runway banned because
Yes.
he was so good at it. They decided we need to tweak this Rogue a little bit.
So if anybody in the chat has a complaint, let us know it's Drew.
Yeah. Send him a DM. His Twitter is no. I'm
Oh,
joking.
no, please don't. Please don't do that. On the other side, Scorch still out. Dima as well, which we've talked about.
I love the
Definitely
Dima pick.
important.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think this is
definitely
actually Dima's favored map, and
especially back in the day. Like
Yes.
every time he played Lockdown back in the day, it was like Dima.
yeah,
Dima,
because you can
Dima.
breach the site, and the EMP to reveal someone
Yep.
now with the new adjustments makes him even more valuable. And the Dima or the nades, something's going to hit somebody, right? And that's what I love about Dima now in this new meta, is that he's been upgraded in certain ways that makes him way more
He
usable.
can shut down that fixer roll. You
I love
crack
his
it, he's like,
outfit as
bam.
well. What a costume he's
And
got.
I mean, come on, it's who's that? Man, it's just styling and profiling.
He's got
out
swag.
here.
He's got swag for
definitely
sure.
got it. So.
That's a very bad talent dart. That's going to be broken.
It got info, and then it stopped getting info, but Emus has already pushed up a
Oh!
distraction.
Prosper
Again,
makes up
Prosper,
for it as
again,
well.
right behind him. He says, Emus, you get that pick, you get a little low. I'm here, but
1v1.
But Class says, well, hold on, I can do this too. I can
Oh, you
clap
hate to see
back,
it.
and he's escaping.
Why did he shoot the body on the floor? He should have used that time. I think he had to reload, so that's unfortunate for Drew. He didn't quite get the fixer-ult kill that he wanted. And now the bomb is on the bomb side. They've done the map flip once again. Drew's looking at nothing, and Canny doesn't know that. Class doesn't know that, sorry. So they're both at a stalemate right now. He's just trying to figure out, if I roll to sight, will I get killed? I don't think he's accounting for that the fixer only has a pistol.
They're looking just for, like, honestly, they're waiting for a sound cue. They're waiting to see that some person is deciding, let me figure this out, and they're pushing up. Drew's getting up here, and he needs to use this third-person camera to try to clear that because he's right there, but he's actually got inside, kind of behind the half wall. He might be able to see the top of the hat.
Wow.
Can he see the... he's walking right out, and he's going to get punished. Class playing so passively, and look, he's so laid back. He's like, yeah, I just won the 1v1. I clutched it, and now, hold on, I'll pop off real quick. But that right there, so well played. So patient. I mean, patience, which fits the demeanor, right? He is definitely looking very calm, cool, and collected. But just the fact that he was willing to just wait. He had the bomb. He's the attacking team, and he just waited out the defense.
I think that's the difference between, top level and not top level. Anyone else would have just gone and planted, right? And then that would have given Drew the time to push up, and then Class wouldn't have known where
It's
Drew
the
is.
intel where you're at,
Right.
yeah.
Drew did a great map control move and crouched up to the position, but he didn't know where Class was, right? So instead of keeping that position, he assumed, oh, he might be on site here, so let me try and crouch towards it. Gets picked in the duck walk, shall we say.
Yeah, and for, no shot at Drew because who expects that Class is hiding behind the half wall right there, but we're in the next round, so, here it is. They've already picked up a couple of kills. We're down to a 2 versus 2 right off the bat. EMS and Drew this time getting aggressive. The Molotov will end up
1v1.
picking EMS up, and they're going to get that kill. And we're seeing yet another 1v1, and Class still being the one with the bomb. Last man standing, cracks it. And this time, I don't think he's going to get a peek here out of him. Knowing that the
not
ult,
sure
everybody
about
turns
that
his
move.
back, and that's why that back turn. He should have stayed looking in that direction, but Drew doesn't try to play off of it.
He can't. The Scorch shot was popped, so he probably would have been
Not
melted.
worth that damage,
Right.
despite the damage he had already done.
Now we have the game of cat and mouse. I'm going to fake plant, you're going to push. I'm going to plant, you're going to push. Nobody actually knows what the other is going to do. You just have to make an
and there's no
impulse play.
smoke left. He has the ult. He can't make it worth anything other than maybe a glow, right? Which is sometimes worth. You know that player's over
that
there.
actually might work in this situation.
So he might want to do it to know, are you on the left? Are you on the right? Where are you thinking about planting? Are you swinging? Do I see the glow moving away? Fakes it again, and like you said, cat and mouse, just, hey, come on. I'm trying to get you over here. Just come peek me. I want the advantage, and they're playing it very well. This is what you expect at the top level. This 1 versus 1 play is just both players trying to outmaneuver, out-mental game the other, and
20
nobody's
seconds
biting,
now.
but he's going to have to, and he steps out, fires the pull. That
He needs to
was a
plant.
risky play.
He needs to plant. 20 seconds. This is in Drew's favor. It went from 1 minute to 20 seconds. You really need to get the bomb down because as soon as it gets to
And that damage is done. Drew's going to push this through. Oh, he does the damage, but Drew closes it out, wins the 1 versus 1. That, for, 16 years old, that is incredibly well played. The patience and just the thought of, no, he has to plan. All I have to do is stay away from him. That was perfectly played.
I would have really suggested that on the 4th or 5th time faking it, just get the bomb down, because either way it's going to get to 10 seconds and you won't have enough time.
And he's knowing it. Yeah, he will then know, and then you basically take the 50-50. Either I fake it again, and if he doesn't push, I lost the round for not planting, or he pushes and I die to that. So you didn't give yourself a lot of wiggle room with that one.
And we didn't. He could have maybe rotated out as well. It's easier to say, rather than do, right? So we'll give him the
little easier from us standing here, not the person in the server. Yeah, absolutely. And they pushed up, and aggressive peek here coming out of EMS will take down Canny. Potential for a res. They did molly that spot off. Or actually, it's a little too deep. And if anybody flanks there through the middle, they're taking down.
Why the Semtex didn't come out there? That would have been a finish on that kill. Like, you can see them.
Oh, so he does have it. Yeah, he still has that Semtex.
Ooh, and the Scorch goes down again, and that's why he's just farming downs at this point, MS. He knew that, get him up, I'm just going to, knock him again. This is my corner. I think Cannibals has put down the sniper as well. I think I saw a DMR in his hand, and that is correct. Probably because they're on attack, he wanted to be part of the attack.
EMS finally taken out of the equation. A trade does go back, but then Prosper's drop. So a 1 versus 1 again, and yet Drew comes out on top again.
I think he lost that first 1v1 and he was like, I'm not getting caught lacking like that again. I was literally crouch walking in the open. I know I'm good at these. Let me just calm down a bit and just have some fun. And that's when Drew's at his best, is when he's having a little bit of fun, he's messing around because he hits every single shot, right?
Absolutely. This has been fantastic out of them. And it's a tight game, much tighter than the first map.
Very enjoyable game, actually, yeah. And Lockdown always provides this type of thing. It's one of my favorite maps for this meta, 3v3.
As said earlier, when it swapped to the 3v3, it really did change up how many ways you could play the map. Early on, 4v4, rarely did somebody go outside.
Because it was so blocked off, all the lanes, right? It's so many people covering so many things. You'd have 2 inside, 2 outside, but now you have 1 outside and 2 inside normally. In this case, we actually have 1 going for the long flank and 1 going for the mid flank, and I really like this. You bait out that you're flanking middle whilst the Lancer is sprinting around the other side of the map. Here he goes. We see him. He must have padded. He's taken his time a little bit because they haven't pushed forward, so that's very smart of him.
And to secure this, to make sure they're not giving up an early pick, the player towards spawn was playing very passively. So they can't take full control. They don't know where anybody's at. They've already taken a player. The flanks are in their butt, actually. It's going to be Candy watching the flank. Big brain Candy. It's like, hold on. Has anybody seen EMS? Can anybody tell me they've seen EMS? Let me check flank real quick.
And the best way, he was covering that flank in a way that he can't be seen from the front, he can't be seen from the middle, so this team couldn't even call it out for him. So that is very, very well burst from Cannibals, just knowing the timing and where to sit to watch the flank.
And with 50 seconds left, to bring us to a 2 versus 2. Way slower pace round. These other rounds are like really down to the 1 versus 1 basically at this point.
It's literally down, 1v1 all of a sudden, right? But this one, 2v2, bomb down once again. It seems like the bomb carrier is not getting protected much on these attacking rounds.
Oh, that's aggression coming out of Drew. He's able to put down Candy. I saw the low HP. I thought he was going to go for it. And he says, yes, I'm definitely getting in there. I know I can win this one. Candy's already low. And that leaves Dima all on its own. Still has the ult, though, I believe. Unless it was just cracked. Just cracked? Okay, I saw him holding it before. And that's
unfortunate, right, that he used it without the right comms, and now he's crouch walking and getting caught lacking.
In under 15 seconds, he was trying to run all the way over towards A. I think at that point, you take the risk, you plan on B. You might be stuck on site in a 2 versus 1, but you got to do what you got to do right there. So, I believe it's 6-4.
I think if he saved that Dima ult, he would have had more courage just to plant on B side, because if they pushed him, he would have Dima ulted them, right?
Pop the door and get the plant.
And this is the kill that we didn't get to see from the POV. Drew getting that kill on Canny, really actually pushing him out when Canny had the first bullets, I believe, right? So that's well played by Drew, not afraid of the other Fixer on the other team. And that's a good adaptation from Right Turtle to put Drew on Fixer and MS to take a different role up, right?
And going in, it's 6-4. This could be over right here, right now. This could be a 2-0. For Right Turtle, who would be making a statement yet again on Bulletproof, which oddly enough, Bulletproof would then go down to 1-2.
Drew needs to hit that there, though. If he's going to be the player that we were talking about, he needs to hit one of those snipes. He had 3 attempts there, but I guess they have the leeway, right?
Yeah, they're up. They got a little bit of wiggle room, and if push comes to shove, he swaps off to the DMR. He's not hitting the shots. So again, that's a benefit. They can just, I'm not hitting the shots. Let me change it up. That nade though could be big with the perfect time of the roll, and the nade actually doesn't make it far enough. EMP also landing on the opposite side of the box.
What he's doing
so there was a little bit of misuse utility, and there's the shot you wanted to see right there
from Drew.
A good one. Oh, who's that with the missed ult, but a body shot there, and I think, he's going to get aggressive. He's going to force that one, and all down to Canny. 1 versus 2 now, and that bomb is down right there on the site.
And do you know what made it impossible
the flashbang. Oh, they're going for this. There's no way they let that sit, and that's going to clean it up. 2-0.
They thought banning Dahlia would do it all, but Prosper's Talon Dart made sure that they couldn't even get to the site without being revealed, right? What a game.
Yeah, I expected a little bit more to Bulletproof. Now, Right Turtle is a top team. We know that. We said it earlier. This is a team that could win the whole event. But Bulletproof is also in that conversation. So when you're doing that much damage to a team that is in the contention, that Right Turtle versus Blackhand matchup is looking a bit more likely after seeing some of these results.
That's that number 1 seed versus that number 2 seed, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's been saying it all week. Right Turtle, Blackhand, Frag Outs, MS. I think MS is coming for Delena's MVP role that he currently holds from the last LAN, and he's doing a lot to make that happen.
They're both very confident.
They're both
Talking
very
to both of them,
Yeah.
they are very much like, we're going to win these games. I think that we may see them in the finals. Still first day. I want to know what our desk thinks. So let's hear their thoughts now.
Well, my thoughts are that it looks real good for Right Turtle right now, right? I mean, you come into that score, it's Rathar again, by the way. You come into this, and you get to sweep your group. I mean, this is exactly what you would have wanted. You get to come in. First off, you get the 3-0. But on top of that, you get a very controlling victory here, and something that was maybe wanted by this team pretty heavily after earlier. It was a very, very close win that they had versus Aerial Arise here. You get the 7-1, I mean, blowout in map number 1 there on the arena. MS just gets a 3K at one point, is popping off like crazy. And here on Lockdown with 7-4 out there, it just felt so good for this team.
Absolutely. I thought they just played to their strengths very, very well. They know what they got to do. They know the rogues that they're best at. They previously played Arena versus their Arise, and so when they got back on it, I wasn't surprised to see them do even better. Now they locked in that formula. They put MS on that fixer with the Mamba, and it was just a different story. Then they moved to Lockdown, and they just put up a really, really good performance again. They switched over the fixer there onto Drew. And again, it's worked really well. They know their strengths as a team, and as I said, is that Prosper there as that father figure looking over their two gunners, and I just think they did a fantastic job. They really played to their strengths, and I think that was what not only won them this series, but I think what led to the 3-0.
Oh, it was fun to watch them, right? Sending MS outside there on lockdown. Like by the end, it was just like, all right, look, just go for the longest flank that you possibly can. We'll pincer them, and it ended up working out. And I feel like it turned around. You know, we're going back and forth. You went around, they went around. You went around, they went around. Up to I believe 4-4, and then finally, it's just that little small play. It feels like, but a couple of fakes on the side, a little bit too much time burnt. And all of a sudden, the fight kind of switches. I've got the timer in my favor. You've got to make a play. And everything just kind of shifts with them. But going forward in this tournament, I mean, this is a team that everyone's been looking at. Did that set kind of cement in your mind that there's someone to keep your eyes on?
Absolutely, man. They secured themselves a really high seed there going into tomorrow and stuff, and they deserve it. They've just played very, very well. They've won their bracket 3-0, beating every single team they've gone against, and they've done it. I said, other than a few close games here and there, pretty convincingly, and they've just shown that they've got better as a team throughout the entire thing, and that's what I want to see. That's what this first day of LAN is partly about. Is figuring out LAN, figuring out what it is, how you're playing, and how you're communicating, meeting each other for the first time, building that in real life chemistry, and I think Raito have got that formula down.
And having that experience, like what is going to be quote-unquote the LAN meta if something pops up. And like you said, getting better with every set you play, that's exactly what you need to see out of a team. You can see this 5 out of 6 matches already knocked out. We've got one more later today. Blackhand will be taking on Valor's GG. But this one, right now, it's all about Right Turtle. It's all about their win of the sweep through the group. So we're going to go down to Captain Atsuka and, well, find out what the players are thinking.
Well, hello. Once again, I am Captain Atsuka, joined in the studio here by none other than Drew from Right Turtle, one of the top fraggers coming from that team, of course. How are you feeling after that win against Bulletproof?
Very good.
Well, I can only imagine. Already, we seen y'all perform earlier today. Y'all were able to take on one of those top contending teams with Aerial, and now you're taking out one of the other top dogs in this tournament with Bulletproof. How does it feel to be taking down these two titans back to back?
It feels very good to me because I teamed with everyone besides P-Story on those two teams.
That is absolutely insane. One thing I gotta ask, just because I couldn't help but notice from the previous matchup earlier on today compared to the one that you just had with Bulletproof, we saw earlier that you were doing extraordinarily well with the Fixer. And then, of course, we saw MS do really well with the Glimpse. And then towards that match with Bulletproof, y'all switched roles. What was the discussion that led to that decision being made that y'all would switch characters?
It wasn't, really about, EMS wanted to play Lancer on offense or defense, and like so I had to play Fixer versus Canny, and of course I had to put him down with the sniper.
I gotta say, that was some of my most favorite moments, was those headshots coming in, especially on Palace. Your positioning was so on point, constantly getting those dingers with the sniper, and we have seen time and time again throughout the day with the Fixer picks is that they have opted out to go with the DMR. So once again, for I guess one of my last remaining questions, why is it that you're so more comfortable with the sniper than with the DMR?
Well, so like I've been sniping with Runway for like ever, and like I'm so much better than, I feel so much more comfortable with the LR15 than like any DMR, really.
Well, you heard it from Drew themselves. Could be arguably the top sniper here at the RCCS. But with that being said, we're going to have some more Rogue Company action coming your way, and possibly even more Drew after this short break. Do not go anywhere.